Hey guys, welcome back again. We are continuing with our alphabet challenge, and of course, we're on letter E. And for this letter, I ended up doing the theme of like earthy tones because I'm just doing finding random aesthetics and putting them in a wheel spin and just going and doing whatever the wheel tells me to do, and we ended up with earthy tones. So for the most part, I figured I wanted to go for like a cabin-esque kind of feel and stick to more like browns and a little bit of green, but just very, very like natural tree forest esque kind of colors. I didn't want to incorporate too much like other colors because I know like sometimes earthy tones can also include like some reds and oranges and stuff, just like other colors that you can kind of see naturally in the world and whatnot. But I honestly just didn't know how I would be able to incorporate those other colors, so we stuck with like your very basic like forest-esque colors, hence why we went with a more of a cabin theme. So of course I utilize a lot of horse ranch and a lot of outdoor retreats and a lot of cottage living. Honestly, I don't even know how much cottage or not cottage live. I was just gonna say cottage retreat. That's not a thing. I was meant to say I don't know how much of outdoor retreat I actually ended up using, just because we do have horse ranch and everything now. So I feel like I tend to use more horse ranch stuff when I want to do more outdoorsy themes. But regardless, I struggled a lot with the floor plan because I wanted to have like multiple rooms and everything, but I didn't want to just be really basic and just have each of the like branches of the E be different rooms. I wanted it to look more dynamic and a little bit different. So I struggled a bit with that. Eventually I do make the room, the like top E, the top part of the E into another room as well, just because I wanted to have more different varying spaces. I don't want each build that I do for this challenge to kind of have the similar layout of like one bathroom, one bedroom, and then, your living and kitchen area. I want them to look different and be different. So I decided to add in a little extra room because I was gonna have that space just be like the living area, but we decided to change it. And for the kitchen, I obviously already you can tell like the main part of the house is very beige, very brown tone vibes. So I was trying to incorporate some of the green into the cabinetry and stuff with the kitchen, but I just wasn't liking the different tones and shades of the greens that we have. And like I said, I wanted to keep it more rustic esque. And so I wanted the cabinets to be wood cabinets. And so I just felt like there wasn't a good green that I liked, at least, that I felt matched the vibe, but also still had that like woodsy kind of look. I still feel like the cabinets that I picked, they're still slightly modern, which like this could be like totally like, a slightly modern cabin situation because I feel like the bathroom too, the tile I chose in the bathroom, that's kind of like modern kind of vibes as well. So it's like a slight modern cabin kind of situation. I always struggle with like putting and figuring out a little dining area because I want them to have a dining area, but I just feel like it's a super tight space. But eventually I do like I did it right there where I removed one of the chairs and just put the table right against the wall, which I don't love doing that, but it's just so hard to fit in a kitchen, a living space, and then like I said, I do want them to have some like sort of like proper dining area. So you got to do what you got to do. So here I just do like a quick little situation for the living area. At first I was just gonna use a TV stand, but then I figured a fireplace would actually look good in that area. It's just hard, I feel like, to fit the fireplaces in sometimes because they are pretty big. There are obviously a couple of like smaller ones and like some that are thinner, but it needed to fit the theme, It has to be, slightly like more rustic, wood, or I mean, obviously you wouldn't want a wood fireplace, but like a brick kind of fireplace kind of vibe, you know, with like that fit a wood cabin look. That's what we did there. And honestly, so far, besides like the some of the bedrooms and some of the rooms having green, the only green we really have is from the couch and the plants, which is so bad. I feel like I really wish I was able to incorporate more of the like green kind of tones and everything. But it is what it is. And so this is another reason why I don't love putting the table right next to the wall, because I just feel like it's really hard to incorporate a rug with it. So eventually I just do give up on putting a rug there because I just couldn't figure out and find anything that I felt like didn't like mess up the situation there. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it would have been fine, but I just didn't like how it was looking. So no rug for the dining room table, which is fine. Sometimes people don't have rugs under their dining room table. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So I just have the little rug in the living room, and then I did put a rug in the extra room that I created, which will eventually end up being an office. But I figured a lot of times when I start to feel like a little lost, I just go and do the bathroom because I feel like bathrooms are pretty easy. There's not much options for the bathrooms. You kind of just put whatever goes, whatever colors, whatever theme you kind of want that fits the best because, like I said, you only have so much options. And so I was just going for everything that incorporated some brown, really, because obviously I did not want a green bathroom. Because for one, I feel like the green options for the bathroom, they're very like neon green, so that wasn't gonna work. And then I just don't think most people would want a green bathroom in the first place. So we just did a brown one. And for the bedroom, kept it pretty simple. I was just going through and just finding different beds that had like more wood frames and like specifically like more rustic wood frames. And then also I tried to lean more towards like the green, even though yes, the room is dark green. I just felt like we needed to have some sort of color somewhere in this build, so green bedroom it is. Initially I actually had that wallpaper in this office all over the house, but then I felt like it was a little too much. And I did think about doing like a makeshift L-shape desk, but it is such a small room that I just feel like it probably wouldn't work too well. So I decided against it, and then plus it would look all glitchy and stuff like that. So we don't want that either. So I just gave up on that idea fairly quickly. But I decided to use the little typewriter computer situation just because, you know, I like it. I like utilizing that. And like most of my builds, I always try to incorporate some sort of skill-based activity. And so I figured what better thing than a guitar. So just added that there, and I actually added a bookshelf because I feel like I've been forgetting to add bookshelves sometimes to some of my builds. So, because I don't think the last build with the nautical, I ended up adding any sort of bookshelf, which is crazy. But, you know, maybe they're spending so much time fishing that they don't have time to read. That's what we're going to go with, okay? So at this point, I've pretty much furnished everything. So I'm just trying to go in and add in some decor bits and just fill up some of the space a little bit more. Because I feel like that's like a big thing that I struggle with when I do builds is just once I have like your basic needs and basic furniture in, I kind of in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm done. It's playable at that point. And so going back and adding more like personality and like little bits and pieces here and there is just so hard for me. But I went in and I was trying to find some curtains that like worked well with the room. That I feel like is a whole nother issue too, because I feel like it's just so hard to find curtains because I feel like sometimes they just like what's the word? They clip with so many things. Like if you have something that's like right in front of the window, high probability it's going to clip with whatever the furniture or whatever the thing is. So honestly, I can't think of it. The curtains, golly, the curtains that I have, I don't think they're like the best option, but I felt like they were like the least like atrocious situation in regards to like the clipping, and then also just like not clashing with the colors, because I feel like that's a whole nother issue and a whole nother problem is when when you have like certain colors, they can easily clash in my opinion. Because I just feel like the game doesn't have that many things that actually go well together and complement each other as far as colors, especially if they're like in different packs. So it's like almost like a lot of times if you want to use certain colors, especially if they're unique colors, it's like you could only use that one pack because a lot of the other packs aren't going to be compatible with that particular color and shade and whatnot. So that is like a very frustrating thing to me. I feel like a better job at like making sure that things work well together in different packs, because it's just lackluster there. But that's pretty much all I'm doing for the rest of the build. I didn't realize how much time I took to add in little bits and pieces, but I feel like this is also like really perfect for the time of year. It's like fall kind of vibes. I honestly genuinely had no clue like until like a few days ago that Thanksgiving was literally this week. Like it's just been a crazy month. I feel like there's been a lot going on this month. So I had no idea that Thanksgiving was happening so quickly. And like, that means the end of the year is only like a few weeks away. We're about to be in 2026 already. It's crazy. This year went by so fast, and I don't feel prepared for the new year. I don't feel prepared for Thanksgiving, really. Barely. I just got the ingredients that I needed today for the one little thing that I'm making. I'm just making a cake. I'm making a dessert. That's it. And I just got that today because, you know, I didn't know what I was going to be doing for Thanksgiving and everything. And like, I don't feel prepared at all to start trying to figure out Christmas gifts or any of that. I feel a little lost if I'm being completely honest, but hopefully I can get it together. Hopefully I can just, you know, get all the things I need easily and quickly. And this is the first time too that I'm not gonna have like random days off or just like days in general off in the middle of the week, so I can avoid like the weekend traffic of people going and getting Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Because now I work like Monday through Friday, and I've never worked Monday through Friday before. So I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm either gonna have to actually do something and go to the stores after work or deal with the crazy traffic. And like the traffic even on the random weekdays that I would do a lot of my get shopping and stuff like that, those were bad enough. So I can only imagine what it would look like on a weekend. So I also might try to order as many gifts as I possibly can, because I don't think I could handle the chaos. Literally just today, getting groceries was crazy, just trying to leave. But, you know, it is what it is. It's just the way things go, unfortunately. But back to the build, and no more ranting about Thanksgiving and the holidays. Obviously I put in a lot of the little lighting. I actually really like the lighting because it was like nice and warm, and I feel like it helped, you know, the vibes and the tone. Obviously, as you can see, I'm struggling with figuring out what light to put in the dining room, because I just feel like sometimes it's like too close to the kitchen, so I feel like it has to go well with the kitchen, and it's just a struggle to figure that out for me personally. So we ended up doing that, but I think it works. I think it works. I think, like I said, mood lighting for this kind of situation, because it makes it look better. And it's like I said, it's fall, warm tone vibe, so we love to see it. So I just do the roof. I feel like I've been just doing the most basic roofs ever. Like, I am not very creative when it comes to the roofs at all, because I don't know. I just struggle, I guess. So it is what it is at this point. But that is pretty much the end of this video. And next time we will be doing the letter F, and I will see what we end up doing then too for that. I'm not sure what F aesthetics we will end up finding, so that will be fun and interesting to do. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.